there, Jack McLean here, and welcome to Prepare Like a Pro live chats. Prepare Like a Pro is a business that I created earlier in the year. We're a strength and conditioning business working with male and female developing footballers all over the country. We're based in Melbourne, and we specialise at structuring athletic development programs as well as physical preparation for off-season, pre-season and in-season training. Super excited tonight to catch up with Christian Woodford. Those that don't know, Woody been running WSC for the last 9 years, which is an athlete-focused gym centre, strength and conditioning business driven by results. So he works with professional, semi-professional, as well as amateur weekend warriors. He's worked at the VIS, where he did a traineeship, internship at the Victorian and Australian gridiron team as a strength and conditioning coach at Maryland University, which we talk about, working in a college over in the States, Football Federation Victoria, head sports scientist, Melbourne Victory Youth League, and as well the Oakley Chargers, which are in the NAB League. So I'll send over my invitation now to Christian Woodford and going into the chat. So Woodford, send. If you have any questions for Woody, guys, make sure you hit the question button at the bottom of your screen. You can send through a question there. Connecting through. Okay, guys. Woody, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good.
Take us back to the beginning, mate. When did you discover you had a passion for strength and conditioning, athlete development, fitness, whatever you want to call it?
I started pretty young. So, Jack, I've been obsessed with football and cricket my whole life. So I played football, cricket my whole life since I was like 8 to 7. And I was obsessed with like the obviously the skill, but I was obsessed with like the physical side of sport. So how you can understand, how you can maximize sports performance from like a young age. From, I reckon 14 years old, I've been kind of obsessive with that. I wouldn't say truly sports performance. I was obsessive with like yourself with fitness. Hello, Jez. Jeremy, how you going? Always been obsessed with it. So that kind of led me to do Cert 3 and 4. I did Cert 3 and 4 when I was 18, 19. Yeah, thanks, Karen. 18, 19. And then what happened was my passion was more fitness. Like, if everyone's watching this, I'm sure Jack didn't start off with being obsessed with sports performance first. You could have been, Jack, but I'm pretty sure that you would have just passion with fitness. I mean, like health and fitness, like Cert 3 and 4. And I started doing that. And I remember when I was 19, my first job, I don't know if this happened to you, brother, but how they say to you, you need experience, but you can't get experience without getting experience. So I went to gyms and they'd be like this, Jack, we can't hire you because you don't have any experience. And I still remember saying to this woman, and I remember when I was 19 years old, I said, listen, I need an opportunity. I went to 10 gyms, bro. No one would give me a look in unless they said this, pay $350 rent and we will take you on.
Yeah.
Man, I'm 19 years old. I'm not going to put myself under that burden. And back in those days, you couldn't sign a 6-month agreement. It was 12 months, you're locked in, plain and simple. These days it's different because just throwing it out there, they cannot hold you to that contract. It's bullshit. My mate's a lawyer, and I remember back in the day when I was about 22, he used to always say to me, he was doing law, and he used to say those contracts will not hold up in a court of law. You don't have to pay them. So what they've done now,
I don't know if I should say it's in public, but profile their fitness first year contract.
Well, nothing will happen, brother. They can't hold you to it. My mate is like a real high lawyer now. This is before he was a high lawyer. He used to say to me, Woody, they will not hold up in court. They can't hold you to that. So what they do now is they're smart. They use 6 months agreements, which is fine. 6 months should be fine. If you can't do nothing in 6 months, but a year is stupid. So I remember going to this small chain gym, Adam and Eve, and begging this woman saying, listen, I don't want you to pay me. I will just show you what I'm worth. I will do free work. I will clean equipment. I'll clean the toilet. I don't care. Give me an opportunity. She turned to me and said, I'll give you an opportunity. I just want to see what you can do. And I remember in the first 2 weeks, they loved me and they hired me from there. So I got an opportunity to start off in this industry. So for everyone out there who thinks that I just started training athletes, that's just a load of shit. No one does that. The small percentage who do, I believe, haven't got a well-rounded base. I reckon you change general pop, you get a well-rounded base from that. And from there, then you can specialize in athlete development. Hired to do what, Daniel? I was hired to PT, so personal train and do. Now, this is back in the day where you could do gym 4 hours. So the company, the small chain gym would pay me for gym 4 hours. They'd pay me $18 an hour, which now I think about it is so low. But back then I was happy to even make $5 an hour because I love what I did.
Yeah.
And
got to cut your teeth.
Well, you got to, exactly. But these days, kids, listen, if you're an exercise science student, personally, most of you kids have your head up your ass. You need to stop doing that and you need to humble yourself a little bit and you need to start at the lowest level and build your way up. I always say that to young kids who come through Woodford. and they say to me, look, I want to work with elite athletes. Now, Jack, you've worked with elite athletes. You understand this. You work in an AFL club. It's hard to do. It's not easy to do. You've got to play a lot of politics. You've got to pay your dues to get to that point. That's why people like you I respect, because it takes time to get to that point. I'm sure you've explained it to people before. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to really pay your dues. You've got to work your way up. You've got to make networks. And for me, networking, it's not like people think it's such a bad thing to network. Networking for me is just, it's a respect thing, but also it's kind of like just meeting up with people, getting to know them, helping them out when they need help. For me, it's always been like educating people on what we do as a profession so more people can make a living off what we do. Because when I don't want to go off track here, but I might. Sorry, Jack, take me off to
There's no
straight if I have. No, awesome. But I don't look like Barisha, by the way. Thanks, Nick, though. They think I look like Barish from Melbourne Victory, but I hope I don't. But going to what I was saying was paying your dues and working way up. And also, when I started Woodford, my whole idea was to educate the masses through social media to educate more athletes, coaches, not just S&C coaches, but I'm talking about skills coaches, to the benefit of us as a profession, Jack. Because I kind of saw so many exercise science students were graduating, but then I'd go to a fucking gym, Jack, and I would still see trainers coach isolation, split part, bodybuilding programs for fucking someone who wants to play cricket or football. And it doesn't matter about the level. Every sport has a physical component that we need to develop in the gym or on the field, regardless of what sport it is. Even lawn bowls, for everyone out there, lawn bowls has a strength and conditioning coach in Australia because there's some sort of physical component to execute the skills. Now, lawn bowls and cricket is more of a technical, tactical, skill-based sport, but it has still some sort of physical preparation needed to maximize performance and reduce chance of injury. When I started Woodford, my big goal was to educate the masses through social media, to educate everyone, athletes, sports coaches, parents, of the benefit of us as a profession so we can get paid and we can be respected. Because when I went to the States at 25 years old, 24 years old, they've got this system where it's just so bought in. The athlete understands what physical preparation and strength conditioning coach is. Look, I'm not saying they're perfect, but at least there's some sort of understanding of what they do. Over here, most people think that S&C is just flogging someone into the ground. Now, you and I know there's more of a science to it and there's more structure to it. And that's what I kind of wanted to do, was to educate the population through social media. Now, people look at me and sometimes think that, look, this guy's a fuckwit, he's an asshole, he's arrogant. I'm not. I just truly love what I do. And what I've done is, part of me is a marketer. I have to market strength and conditioning. And how you do that is, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. Now, if you like that, you like it. If you don't like it, I'm not going to sit here and give a fuck about your emotions, because I don't get emotional about this stuff. It's just plain and simple, this is what I believe. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't like me for my views, don't follow me. I don't give a fuck, really. I don't even care what my parents think about me, let alone you people. But if you like what I do, that's cool. If you like what Jack does, some people are a bit different to me, a bit more quiet to me. But that doesn't mean they're not good coaches. I'm outspoken because of how I am, because that's who I am. You don't need to be me. Hello, Riley, how you going? Good seeing you. But at the same time, it's like following guys who know what they do, like yourself. I know you had Wilmot on last time. Lockie's a great coach. Fantastic that he's in the private sector. There's a lot of great coaches who, listen, 90% what we do, we can all agree on, Jack. It's just that 10% that we just bitch and moan about with each other. I kind of stay out of it these days. I'm just going to say my view. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But it's like, how can I leave the industry in a better place than when I found it? And that's what I'm trying to do right now, is trying to keep educating. So, like, when you ask me to do this, I'll be the first one to say yes. Regardless of what it is, I don't care, because it's, for me, it's like, if I can impart some knowledge on people and help this industry develop, I will do it.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, just to hear the start, so 10 different gyms that you moved around to try and get that opportunity as an 18-year-old kid. Is that, do you think that stemmed planted the seed for motivation to create an internship, give these guys opportunity, experience, and then from that, when did you make the realization that you were going to go from Gen Pop to sport? When was that progress?
Yeah, so first of all, that's the reason why I wanted to give people an opportunity. Jeremy Borzillo, Orphic Education, their podcast is a lot of... Okay, I wanted to give them an opportunity. Shout out to one of my staff, Brick. Hello, Brick. I said I'll just say your name, Jeremy Borzillo, you're a legend. I wanted to give young coaches an opportunity, because when we went through exercise science, Jack, there was really no place you could do it other than professional sport or like the institute system. But I did. I'm not going to bag the institute system, because I did an internship at the VAS. So I thought it was pretty good. I learned under a guy who was really good. But you think about it, there's so many exercise science graduates, yet there was nothing in the private sector that you could develop a living for other than go pro sport or the institute system. So for me, it was like, I wanted to give coaches and even trainers the opportunity. If you want to learn and you want to come learn under people who know what they're doing, you can see actual real world application of science in the flesh. Like, this is no bullshit. This is not a scientific study. This is actually, I get paid. It's crazy to think, Jack, that I get paid to talk shit to some of my mates and then just coach athletes of all different levels, all different ages. And this is what I get paid well to do. But it took me years to build my business. I mean, I'm 9 years. Karen, September 14th, is that the 9-year anniversary of Woodford? Yeah, September 14th is the 9-year anniversary of Woodford. So 9 years, I've chipped away. And for everyone out there, I started Woodford charging at $45 an hour. 45 an hour 9 years ago because no one knew what I was doing. I had no clients. I quit my job at that gym. I was at Adam and Eve, then Genesis for 8 years. And I said to my family, I'm coming back to create this business. I'm going to make it happen. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm going to go after this. 9 years ago, I was charging $45 an hour. 9 years forward, I'm charging a lot more than that. And I have a lot more. I went from having four centers. I used to have 4 centers back down to 1. I've paid 65 coaches. 65 coaches have gone on to either go on to bigger and better things, gone to work in pro sport, gone to work in the collegiate system, gone to intern in the collegiate system, gone to intern around Australia. And I've helped over, I think, 6,000 athletes in their journey that have come through the doors of Woodford over 9 years. So I'm proud of what we've achieved. But at the same time, it takes off-cut of that. You've done my internship. You've seen what we've done. It's just like, I want to help more people, more coaches live their dream. So to watch guys like you go out there, go work at AFL level at Hawthorn. I don't know. Are you still there, Jack, or what's happening with that?
No, I'm actually working with J. Russ. Edge is getting into, it's called Edge Training.
That's right. No, I need you they're doing a gym now, aren't they?
Yeah. Hopefully a few, if it goes well, which I'm sure it will.
You're heading it up?
Myself, so I look after the program and coach the afternoon sessions. And then Hal Marston's come from Melbourne Storm. He's the high performance manager. And so he's managing the facility and then coaching the mornings. We've got some good S&Cs involved as well. So, yeah, all degree-based.
Right, where are you guys your first centre at? Where's it at?
It's on Seville Place, Chapel Street. So our reference is Revolver.
Have you guys opened yet or not?
Open Monday, 18th.
Oh, man, I've got to come down. I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's huge, 400 square feet, metres.
400 square feet? Fuck, he's got money though, bro. He's got money, man. That's great, mate. That's fantastic. That's awesome. So have you done, I don't want to, look, this is personal for you, and I know, look, this is online, live. We should have done this beforehand, but are you ever going to go back to pro, or are you happy with what you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, I've logged a lot of this sort of stuff since starting Prepare. So I created Prepare March. I was pretty clear to me that my role wasn't going to survive COVID. So it was pretty much made redundant last year. That's when I set up this business. And then I started with Edge. I was keen to get a full-time contract somewhere. Did the whole cold emailing around your high performance managers, AFL clubs. Everyone's doing the same thing. So either my role, the first 4 year boys got bumped up to the senior S&C, moved on, or they held the junior S&C of each program. So, yeah. So the junior, looking after the first to 4 year players, is that gone now? The coach of that's gone now for every AFL team? Yeah. So it's gone back about 5 years where you've got your one strength coach, your high performance manager, and then the guys looking after the VFL programs they're doing their own contract with the VFL club.
Fucking hell, man. That's shit, man, for the first to 4 year players, because they really needed that really detailed coaching. And look, for everyone out there, this is why Australian sport's fucked. Like, how fucking stupid is that they're going to cut someone like Jack, who is doing a role that is so critical at that development age? Because I'll be honest with you, this is nothing against S&C coaches at TAC Cup level or NAB level, but they don't pay to have someone like Jack, like someone else who can, like myself, who can do it, because there's no money in it. And this is bullshit where I get upset, because someone like yourself who can actually coach a first to 4 and help with the development, what's going to happen now is these kids aren't going to get that development, and that could lead to injuries, poor performance, a number of different factors. But we don't believe in Australia yet the importance of the coach to develop them athletically. And this is bullshit, because there is money in the budget. I'm sorry, there would be money. It's a $1 billion industry. And okay, COVID does affect it. I understand that. But it does hurt me to hear that, because that's 20 jobs gone, bro. 20 people who can't make a living for their family. You got a young family. When I heard you, I did hear on the grapevine through my contacts, it's not good to hear, man, when you got a young family like that, man. Like, I'm lucky where I don't have a family. No, you've got a young family. So I'm glad that you land on your feet, brother. And I'm happy to hear that for you, the private sector is going to be more stable for you and your family, brother.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, grateful. James Russell, also another good mate of mine, Tony Rankin's involved with the business as well. So I think it's probably worked out quite well in the end. But
what I like about that, though, what I like about this is people always say to me, Do you care when there's more competition in the private sector? No, not at all. Why? It's because then more people know about what we do. Like, everyone wins, bro. Everyone wins. Like, I'm not one of those people who, fucking this and that. I love it. I think it's fantastic because when I started this, man, 9 years ago or whatever, I was alone, man. Like, I felt so alone. I felt like I was fighting this battle. I had like a lot of help from the young kids coming through, but there was no one really making like a performance. I had Durham McGuinness, who's been doing it for years. Respected Durham, him, and I respect him. But now you've got Iron Edge yourself heading that up. You've got Durham. You've got Athletes Authority. You've got Mandy Hopper in Perth. You've got my mate Ryan Everton in Perth as well. You've got look all around Australia. Look, I'm not going to go on and state the names, but what I'm trying to say is it's fantastic that centres like yourself are heading up and people can start to understand, look, educated, applied, get results. Let's get more athletes into all these centres, get good results. And what happens then, everyone out there? We start getting paid what we're fucking worth, because I'm sick to death of people not taking what they're worth. And respect to you, Jack, a little bit as well, where you didn't disrespect yourself and go back and say, I'm happy to work for free, because that's bullshit on you and that's unfair on you when you've got a young family.
Oh, absolutely. You got to value your own time, and it probably takes you to get a bit older to understand that.
Correct. Yeah, but Jack, some people wouldn't have done that. They would have. The young kids, what they do is they go, but I still want to hang around because I get a polo shirt and all this shit. Listen, stop doing that. For everyone out there, I understand that you want to create networks, but please start respecting your time. Jay Ellis, who I reckon you should get on this podcast, and James Russell is good mates with him as well. I think you should get Jay on as well, because he's my 2IC at Woodford. He's brilliant, and he talks about. He was at Melbourne and then they did not, he wasn't happy with what they offered them and he walked. So he's gone to work at NBL now at Melbourne United under one of my mates, Paul, who's fantastic as their high performance manager. He knows his worth like you. And I think for everyone out there, you've got to know your worth and you've got to sometimes say no, and say no until we as S&C coaches start saying no and not taking on these fucking bullshit roles for free. Nothing's going to change. Like Kieran, who's my best friend here, who's my PA, who's just at her house now. She couldn't get over how we don't get paid. She goes, why don't you guys, she couldn't get over how people wouldn't pay for a high level service. Like she's pretty ruthless with how she sells me. Like she's like, Christian's this amount, and if you can't pay it, well, that's fucking it. So go to one of the coaches, or this is another option you've got, or she's ruthless because she works in a business that you got to make money to survive. And and that's not to say that we want to be millionaires, but at the same time, we're educated like a fucking physio, like an osteo, like a chiro. We've done that education. We have a very critical role. Prevention is better than cure. We develop the athletes' athleticism, strength, power, speed to maximize athlete performance, but also we reduce their chance of injury. So wouldn't you want to invest in that? Because if an athlete is better prepared, they're not going to get injured. The money that you're paying them, even if it's at like local level, like some of my mates get $1,000 a game. If you prepare them properly, they're going to perform better, but also they're not going to get injured. The chances of you keeping your best 22 on the park, the best ability is availability. They're going to win games. It's fucking common fucking sense, but it still hasn't hit us yet. It's coming slowly. More performance centers that open up like Iron Edge, like others that open up like Durham, stuff like that at Core Advantage. The better we're all going to win, the better the athlete's performance, the better chance teams are going to win. And I'll tell you, it's coming. I always said 9 years ago, we're about 15, 20 years behind America. If you look at American system, the private sector, Jack, it's fucking massive. You got guys making bank there. Cressy, my man DeFranco, Mike Boyle. These guys are on big money. I honestly believe what's going to happen is the next 5 to 10 years is going to be big, massive. So I can't wait to see what happens and the growth's going to be big. So if you're watching this and you're a young kid,